Hello all, welcome back to SQL with Ravimartha. This is part 12 of SQL Server tutorial series for beginners. Today we'll see joins in SQL. So we'll see what are the different types of joins available in SQL, and we'll also see one quick exercise in this session, right? So before starting, I have a quick update for you. So if you go to my blog, if you go to the YouTube and search SQL with Ravimartha, you'll get my videos. And if you go to this particular page, you'll have different playlists here. I have SQL Server tips and tricks, shortcuts. I have SQL Server tutorial series for beginners, step-by-step process, and SQL Server interview questions, and a couple of other things here. So I have already created around 12 videos on SQL series for beginners. So this is also one more video in this. If you haven't watched these videos, I recommend you to watch these videos as well. Okay, so with that, let's get started. So let's understand what are the different types of joins in SQL. So there are four types of joins in SQL. One is inner join, the other one is full outer join or full join, next left join or left outer join, then right join or right outer join. So inner join gives the common records between these two tables. Left join gives all the records from the left table and the matching records between the two tables. Similarly, the right join gives all the records from the right table as well as the matching records between these two tables, right? So let's understand the definitions again. So inner join returns the common records between the two tables. So if it is table A and this is the table B, inner join or just you can just write join as well, both are same, which gives the common records, that is the matching records between these two tables. That gives the inner join. Next comes the left join, that is, this returns all the rows from left table and matching records between the two tables. Essentially, left join nothing but inner join plus records from the left table. Next comes the right join, which means it gives all the records from the right table and matching records between these two tables. Essentially, it's the kind of inner join plus rest of the records from the right table, right? Then comes the full join, which returns all the rows from two tables, each and every record from A as well as B. So we'll get kind of A union B full set, we'll get it, right? So we'll get all the records from both the tables. So since we have seen the definitions here, we'll just quickly look at the demonstration as well. So in the database, in relational databases, the tables are all the data will not be stored in one single table. So there will be different tables which stores different types of data, right? For example, employee is one table which stores employee data, and when it comes to department, it just takes department ID. And there will be a separate table for department with a department ID joining these two tables. And this process of reducing the redundancy or the duplicate data is called normalization. So in these two tables are related by using a common key called department ID, right? I didn't physically establish the relationship between these two tables, but that's how it works. So the tables are being related to each other, and these two tables can be connected using joins. So as we discussed, there are four types of joins: inner join or just join, left join, right join, full outer join, right? So let's quickly look at it. So let's take a real-time example. So we have employee table here and department table here. I have department ID in common between these two tables, right? And I'm also adding a couple of sample records here, and let me run the query. So I have already loaded the data in these two tables. So now we have overall three records in employee table, employee 1, 2, 3, and for the employee ID, the department employee ID 1, the department ID is null. Similarly, for the fourth record, in the department table, the department ID is null, right? So now let's quickly apply those joins in these for these two tables, right? So for writing the join, so let me remove this stuff and let's quickly write it once again. So to write the join, the simplest way is just write the select statement for these two tables and alias the table. And in the previous video in the series, I have discussed about table alias as well as column alias. So when you're going to join, just give the alias for the first table and just type join. Since it is inner join, so I'm just typing join and remove the rest of the stuff. And now you have the second table aliasing as D. Now we'll specify the join condition E dot department ID equal to D dot department ID. So department ID is common between these two tables. Now let's run the query. So let me also run all the both the table data as well together so that it will be easy. Now let's understand the query. Since it is an inner join which gives the common records between these two tables. So the join condition is department ID. Here we have 2 and 3. And the department ID also we have 2 and 3. So this record joins with this and that particular department is being fetched here for the employee ID 2. Similarly, for the employee ID 3, we have IT is a department. So we got the third record as IT, right? So we have only two matching records between the department ID, employee table as well as department. So we got only two common records. So this is how the inner join works. You can write join or inner join. The output will be one and the same, right? So it's the same output we get, right? Now let's write the same query for left join. What does the left join means? It gives all the records from the left table, that is the and as well as the matching records from the both the tables, right? So let me, instead of inner join, we can write left join or left outer join. So left table is employee table, right table is department table. Now in the left table we have three records. So in the final output also we should have three records because left join gives all the rows from the left table, even the matching rows plus remaining rows from the left table. So essentially, when you write the left join, the count of the output query should be equal to the left table count. So here we have three rows, those three rows should come here. So let's understand the query. First, it will go and join the department ID. So 2 joins with 2, so that came here. 3 joins with 3, that comes here. And what happens for the third one? So it is not matching. Since null, essentially there is a issue with null, right? So null nothing but it's not equal to 0. Null means nothing. So null even not equal to null, isn't it? So null and it has some pitfalls as well. I'll create a separate video on that. It's a separate topic. So the null is not matching here, right? So what it does is like it will fetch that particular row 1 employee ID 5 null and the column for the department it will populate as null. So this will fetch the remaining column. So these two this is the remaining record from the left table. So what are the non-matching records from the left table? It will still bring, and it will for the other table the columns will be stamped as null. So that's how the left join works, right? So as also we discussed, right, left join and right join are just the mirror images, isn't it? So it essentially means the same thing. Left join, either you write left or right, it is the same thing. Only thing the tables will be swapped. So we'll write it as right join or right outer join. It means the same. So now we will swap the tables, right? So essentially, it's the same one and the same thing which we have seen just before. So what we are doing here right table is employee, and employee is having three records, and in the output also we'll have three records. So right join and left join are the just mirror images, and it's one and the same. Only thing that the tables will be swapped, the way we write it, right? Here the employee acts as right table, and in left join we'll write it here and we'll write it as left. So that's how it works. Let's go back and write the query for full join. Okay, so let's write the full join, and let me run the query. So let's understand here. So what does the full outer join means? It's the records from both the tables, right? So we have three records here and four records here. So, and the join condition which we have mentioned is department ID. So let's see the query execution. First, department ID. For the department ID 1, we don't have any match. So what it does, it will get the department ID 1 HR, and since there is no match in the employee table, it will mark other columns as null, right? Next, it will go to the second. 2 is matching with one record. So this record here. So it will fetch 2 and finance, and it will also fetch the matching record from the employee table, that is 2 employee 2. Similarly, we have 3. So 3 matches with this record. So it will populate the corresponding record details from the employee table. Right. Now what happens? It goes to the next record. So it is null. So null sales, it will come, and then there is no corresponding entry matching from the employee table, so it will populate as null. So now we got all the rows from the department table. But what does full outer join means? It should get all the records from this table as well. But if you observe, till now we got only the four records, but we didn't got the employee ID 1, this record. So what it does, it will fetch this record. So that means 1 employee 5 and null. So this record it will fetch here, and for the department fields it will mark as null. So this is the inner join, and the fourth and first record are the remaining elements from the department table, and the fifth row is remaining element from, or the remaining record from, the employee table. So that's how the full join works, right? So this is what it is, and in the next class we will also see some advanced joins with some exercise on the same. So one important thing is that people, when you ask a definition, they will give the answer, but when you ask the same question as part of a scenario, uh, they will struggle to answer it. So it's better to practice and understand the question, and think which join we should apply. These four joins are straightforward joins, and there are some intelligence join. So those joins we'll see in the next class. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me in the comment section. And if you like this video, please comment and subscribe my channel. I'll also have the scripts in the description of this video as well as on my blog, and you can copy it and run this exercise if you need. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.